What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Laughing Coyote, and this is a review of England versus India. To be honest, we're going to talk about India just in general, India cricket really, because, I mean, let's go back to when the lockdown started, right? A lot of nations stopped playing, and then England and West Indies started it, and then Pakistan got in the mix. And then other nations started playing cricket as well, and then India started playing, and the start wasn't too great. I mean, if we go back to that, the ODIs happened first, and Australia was quite dominant, and a lot of people were saying a lot of things, but it was just, it's been a long time since India had played. It was their first series coming back from the lockdown, having a long period without cricket. And they were playing against Australia, who is no joke, in Australia, by the way. So they didn't do all that well, right? Then came the T20 Series, and well, it was a completely different story. They won that series. Then came the test, and the kind of start India had was a very shaky one, and then Virat Kohli was leaving as well. And then the historic event that will forever be remembered, that 36 all-out happened, and somehow India made a comeback. So overall, a success in Australia against Australia, something that not many nations have done in the past. A 2-1 overall tour win for India. And they had the current tour, the England one. And boy, man, this tour was much more enjoyable than the Australia one. Yes, India, the performance India put up in the Australia tour was something that I think Indian fans will remember forever. The kind of position they were put in, and then the kind of comeback they made was pretty brilliant. This one was a lot closer, and you have to give credit to England there, because yes, India won pretty much, well, everything. They won the test, the T20s, and ODIs, but you have to give England credit because they did hold their own against India away from home and in the home of the team that you're playing against. But they did it, and they did it in style. And also, another thing, you got to feel bad for England because, I mean, if you look at their side, I mean, they didn't even have their captain in the last game, and they kept losing players throughout the tournament. It was pretty similar to the way that Australia tour went for India. They kept losing players as things progressed. That was happening with England here. But all of that aside, India just smashed it. They have been just climbing higher and higher and higher ever since they've made a comeback from the, after the lockdown, or well, it's still the lockdown, I guess. It's a good time to be fan of cricket. India, that's for sure. India is in the test final, and we're seeing a lot of young players coming forwards as well. We saw Surya Kumar Yadav in this one, who had a spectacular debut. We saw Ishan Kishan, he had entertaining debut as well. We had the likes of Krunal Pandya, who had a very emotional debut, and also he performed quite well. So a lot happened for India. Then you have Resharp Punt, who was actually doing really well in the Australia tour as well. So he's just continued his form, and after such a long time he played ODIs, and he played well. He performed well. He performed really well. Very aggressive batting from him. And like I said, he's a very young player, and he had big shoes to fill. I mean, before him was MS Dhoni. I mean, imagine that, a legend like MS Dhoni following him. And I think he's done well so far. I mean, yes, he's not MS Dhoni level, but it'll take him time. Maybe one day he'll be even better than Dhoni. I heard that he's been made the captain of the Delhi Capitals. Good luck to him. I hope he becomes a good captain. I hope he gets some experience, because Shreyas Iyer will not be available for this year's IPL. So their captain's gone, so Pant will be taking the captain's badge instead. I have to say, with England, though, I was very impressed with Johnny Bairstow. A lot of people said online why he wasn't opening. He is an opening batsman, and he wasn't used as an opener throughout this tour. Whenever he was played, he wasn't really opening. I mean, he opened in the last few games, and well, in the last few games you saw how good he was. He was absolutely dominant. He didn't let any bowler settle in. It was aggressive batting, but also sensible. I mean, it was so good that it made really good bowlers that the other batsmen couldn't even handle, look bad. And that's how you know a batsman is really good, when he makes the opposition look bad. He was just too good. effortless batting from him. And the debate has once again started, Butler or Bairstow. I mean, I don't know. I love Butler in T20 format. He's such an innovative player. He's kind of the AB de Villiers, of England. And he's got a very good record with the bat as well. He's not that great with the gloves, but neither is Johnny Bairstow. Bairstow has a pretty, current form at least, and obviously recency bias as well goes in favor of Bairstow, since Butler have not done all that well in the recent years. I think the only good innings he played was that 80 or some runs in this tour, and that was it. After that, he hasn't done anything. Whereas Butler, on multiple occasions, in all three formats, he's shown up and he's done well. You gotta feel really bad for Sam Curran, a youngster. He gave it his all. He played his heart out. It was quite an innings from him there in the last game, keeping England's hope alive, keeping, his hope alive of winning not only that game, but by winning that game, winning the series. Unfortunately, they couldn't do that. India won. Another debate, in one of the games, Virat had to walk off the field and Rohit Sharma had to captain for a few overs. And Rohit Sharma actually did really well. Some of the changes he made with the bowling, and I was quite impressed with his captaincy. And so that have sort of rejuvenated a bit of a debate in the cricketing world. A debate that have been going on for years now. Rohit Sharma versus Virat Kohli, that is. I'll be doing a video on that very soon as well. But yeah, all in all, a great tour for both, I would say, England and India. I mean, yes, India won everything, but I think there's a lot to learn from that tour for England in particular. Like I said, it's away from home, at the home of the team you're playing for. I mean, it's not easy, right? It's never easy. India did it against Australia, but not everyone can do that. And to bring it this close, I mean, every single series was very close. So yeah, I'm just going to mention the top 3 run scorers in all 3 formats and top 3 wicket takers as well. Joe Root, highest run scorer in Test. That is to be expected. He's such a classy batsman. 368 runs he scored in the Test. Rohit Sharma was the second highest run scorer in the Test with 345, so just a few runs behind Joe Root. And another thing to note there is Rohit Sharma played 7 innings, whereas Root played 8 innings total. And Resharp Punt, the new and explosive wicketkeeper that India has, is the third highest run scorer in the Test, that is, with 6 innings, by the way, 1 less than Rohit, 2 less than Joe Root, and still he scored 270, which is almost there, nearly there at 300 mark. Highest wicket taker was Ravi Ashwin with 32 wickets, and that's ridiculous, in 8 innings, that is, so that's 4 matches total. But what was even more impressive than Ravi Chandran Ashwin was Aksar Patel with 27 wickets. Now, why is that more impressive? Well, first, it was his first time. Ravi Ashwin has a lot of experience. He doesn't. Second, he's nearly gotten the same amount of wickets as him, 5 wickets behind him, but he's done it in 1 less game. That's 2 innings, by the way, in a Test. So that's 6 innings he's gotten 27 in, whereas Ashwin got his 32 in 8. And then we have the regular performance of Jack Leach in 3rd place with 18 wickets in 7 innings. Then we had the T20 Series, VK, finally coming back in form. A lot was being said about VK as well, which was kind of stupid because, I mean, he has been performing well throughout, even in the Australian series. Not that well, but, he's not a machine. He's not going to get you hundreds every single game. But yeah, highest run scorer, 231 runs in 5 innings. Josh Butler in second place, 172, and David Malan, number 1 T20 bat. Well, actually, I'm not entirely sure if he's number 1 T20 batsman anymore or not. But yeah, he was in 3rd place. Highest wicket takers, Shardul Thakur with 8 wickets, Jofra with 7, and the other pacer, express pacer, the Geordie, all the way from the north of England, from Newcastle, Mark Wood. I love that guy, man. Then we're going to finish off on the ODIs, and yeah, I think you know who the highest run scorer in ODI is. I just spoke about him. Johnny Bairstow, the ginger prick, with the ginger magic, finishing at the top with the most amount of runs. 219, that's in 3 matches or 3 innings. Now, KL Rahul was the second highest run scorer, and Shikhar Dhawan was the third highest run scorer. Both very close, 177 for Rahul and 169 for Dhawan. The cheeky 69. Same as the T20s, highest wicket taker was Shardul Thakur with 7. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar with 6 wicket. Man, that guy is so good. I love him. I want to see more of him. I like his bowling a lot. The more impressive thing about him is not even his wicket taking ability, his ability to stop the run. He literally blocks the batsman from doing anything. The batsman can't do anything. I think in one of the games in the T20s, his economy rate was like 4 or 5 or something like that. That's ridiculously good in a T20. And then with 6 wickets, Krishna is in third place with the highest, top 3 wicket takers. So that's pretty much the series wrapped up. A lot of positives for India and a lot of positives for England as well. There are a couple of concerns for England as well. There's a lot of injuries, but there are some key players who are out of form, who didn't really perform, who didn't really step up to the occasion. And you could argue that that was the reason why they didn't really win any of the series, even though they did put up a very, very good performance in all 3 series. But yeah, that's just what I think. Do let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do drop a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a nice